Gentlemen, welcome to the shop. Today we're going to be talking about X blades, and I ran them on this Ferris IS3200Z all well since this spring, and it's now the middle of July. Figured I'd show you the results that I've gotten and show you everything that's involved with this, the X blade mod. So here we go. Okay, so we got the Ferris up on a stand here. So in a light underneath you can see what's going on. Just to give you an idea that I have not done a thing to this mower since the spring, other than blowing it off and the grease every now and again. I haven't washed it. I haven't done anything. Initial impressions of the X blades, a couple of things. One, there's a whole lot more inertia to overcome when you're starting the PTO. So what I do is I throttle the engine up, and as it's ramping up, I pull the PTO in. It does have a whole lot more airflow, and that's a huge positive, but it's pretty much borderline too much. It can actually blow the grass down, or the grass doesn't fully stand up because it's leaning over from so much vacuum. It's not terrible, but it's like I said, it's right on the borderline of too much, in my opinion, in my conditions in the grass that I mow. Your mileage may vary. It may work good for you. My lawn, well, let's take a quick look. That's my grass, and it's mostly weeds. You know, I mean, there's some fescue, and you can see some clover. You know, I've got dandelions. I don't know if you can see it, but it stripes really well. The mower stripes, if not as good as a regular striping kit, really good. I'm impressed with the striping. And clippings, as you can see, I haven't mowed for a week and there's nothing to show. And like I said, I'm really happy with that. This is the X blade kit that you can order from Ballard. That's the actual bracket, and you can see what this does is it sandwiches two blades. This is 1/8 inch material, and it sits like here's a genuine Oregon G6 blade, and a G6 blade has this insert on the bottom, and it stays sharper longer. So this is a fresh set of blades. We may put them on today as a science experiment. We'll take a look underneath the deck. I haven't even looked yet. But at any rate, you take this bracket. There's one blade. So we take a bracket and you set it over the hole. And don't worry about it being perfectly centered, because your next blade will come along, and then by the nature of the bolt going in the hole, it becomes a perfect X. Well, you may be asking, why are my brackets out here? Well, it lowers the blade that much more. So now I have a thicker setup with the brackets. And your spindle is right here. So anything you add to the bottom of this goes lower and lower. So your cut height becomes lower and lower. I didn't really like that. And I mean, it's a pretty healthy bracket, but I didn't really care for it. So I figured, why not? I'll try it without the brackets. And that's exactly what I did. Here it is. So you can see I have the standard high lift blade on top, and the X blade is on the bottom. Again, I haven't done anything to this mower since this spring. So I got a little buildup right there on the center spindle, and some right here, right at the exhaust of the deck. But the blades don't look bad. Let's see, focus. Yeah, they're pretty sharp still. Now, you can see some wear on there. So, I mean, I do pick up gravel here and there. But look at that, all three sets come around to this side. Yep. All 3 sets of blades are still in the X pattern.
I found this on the web.
So I may try taking the G6 off the bottom and putting the high lift on the bottom, or I may end up trying the 2 sets of G6s. That may slow the airflow down. You know what? We're going to try that. It's going to add more inertia, because the factory high lift blades, those right there, they're only 2.5 inches wide, whereas the Gator G6s are 3 inches wide. So the brackets really don't even fit anyway. They only come in 2.5 by 2.5 or 3 by 3. There's no such thing as a 2.5 by 3. So they don't even work. But you can see, if we get in line with this, that's how much lower your cutting is already. Now the blades on this Ferris, they stick below the bottom lip of the deck on purpose. A lot of decks do this. And then the back baffles, you can see, are lower than the blades. And you also see that's where the holes for the striping kit will go, which is just nothing but a rubber flap. I ended up taking that off. It worked really well, but it tended to make the mower pick up gravel, and I didn't care for that. So, at any rate, I'm pretty happy with the results, because this is also springtime mowing, lots of mush and goo, juicy grass. So this isn't too bad. You can see some nicks on the blades, pretty average. So I'm going to take these off, and we're going to put both the 2 sets of G6s on. I'm going to freshen up the edge on that one, and we're going to drop the factory high lift blades. So see you in a few. Here you can see the 2 blades as they came off, where it rests up against the spindle, and there it was in the X pattern. No evidence of slip on any of these. And you can see the massive difference between the 2.5 versus the 3 on the factory high lifts versus the G6s. So I'm going to freshen up the G6s, scrape out from under the bottom of the deck, take a quick video so you can see it, and we're going to go cut some grass. Okay, so we got the blades on. Now you can see all the crap that came out from underneath. Not a whole lot at all. And there's our blades. I put the new G6s on the bottom, sharpened the other ones, put them on top. So the G6s are considered a high lift blade, but they don't move as much air as a standard blade does, and understandably the fins on them are a lot smaller. So maybe this is a good mix. So now I got 2 3-inch blades stacked. I could have used the brackets. Excuse me. Could have used the brackets, but again, it makes the blades stick down even lower than this lip. The blades are 1/4 inch thick, so imagine the other blade's going to be 1/4 inch higher than that. So you can see some paint up underneath there. Buildup wasn't bad at all. So now I'm going to go cut some grass, and we'll check that out. All right, see you in a bit. Wanted to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Gizmo. He sent me this quite some time ago. It's called the Grass Buster. It's a scraper that has got a knife edge, and it works really, really well. You can get these on Amazon. I'm sure it's probably less than 10 bucks, but this has been my go-to for scraping out mower decks. And like I said, you can see how much thinner it is. It'll get right up underneath there, and boom, it comes right out. I love it. This is my go-to. Thanks, Gizmo. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, so we just did a little test strip here with the double G6s. You can see the striping. Again, this mower does not have a striping kit on it. It's a little wet. So we're getting some clippings on it. This gets mowed every week. This does not. It's every 2 weeks, and so it's more than the height that we would normally mow at. That's about 8 to 10 inches tall. In some places it's even more. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, this looks pretty good. We don't have any stragglers, and I'd say it looks pretty good. All right, we'll continue mowing and we'll check it out again. All right, so we're going to conclude this review of the X blades. Real quick, let's go over the test mule here. This is a Ferris IS3200Z. It's a 2017 model. It's got a 61-inch deck. One of the crown jewels of this thing is the engine. It's got a Briggs & Stratton Vanguard 37 horsepower fuel injected motor. This thing is a beast, man. It loves to cut the grass. One of the greatest features on it is the external oil tank. They call it the Oilguard. You can change the oil, which is 5 quarts of synthetic oil, without any tools. That's the drain. The oil filter is right underneath this cap. Because of this dry sump oil system, it's not afraid of any hill. And you notice how wide this machine is. It's got the largest tires you can find on a zero turn, 26 12/12s, and they're just as wide as the deck, which can be a detriment as far as trimming, but you can also get this model in a 72-inch deck. The suspension is just awesome. That's the best way to put it. And if you notice, the deck hangs off of the suspension itself, so when you go into a dip, it picks up the mower and just compensates for uneven ground. And I don't know if you can see this. It's midday, the sun is straight down, but you can see striping from the last time I mowed diagonally this way, and today I did it this direction. So the striping's not nearly as good right now midday as it is later in the afternoon when you can really see the striping, but this is no striping kit. I'm very, very impressed with the double blade or the X blade setup, cutting with this mower. And today we tried the double G6 blades. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It got rid of all of the downsides to running a G6 blade. And to me, it always left little stragglers here and there, but today it looks like a laser went across this lawn and cut it. Beautiful, beautiful job. I'm very, very happy. And now, in my conditions, cutting with these double G6 blades, I think this is the way to go on this mower. And notice I don't have the kit. It's just standard G6 blades, and this one was brand new, 6 acres of cutting ago. So today we cut that lawn, we cut this lawn, and then we cut the lawn over there. So these are 2-acre lots. Just absolutely fantastic job. So let's go over some pros and cons. Cons, it takes more inertia to get the blades going. This being a commercial mower, it's not much of an issue, but it could be if you have a residential mower, and I can't say whether your mower is going to be affected by this or not. I have to throttle up while I'm engaging the blades. You can't do it while it's just at idle. It will stall the engine. There's a lot more noise. You're running 2 sets of blades. The G6 has always been noisier than some blades, but I'm running dual blades, so it's that much noisier. And heck, with the other blade, the high lift blade and the X blade with the G6, it was still just as noisy. So take that with a grain of salt. You got double the maintenance. You know, 3 more blades in this case, because it's got three blades, so now there's 6. So you got a total of 6 blades you got to sharpen, and it makes it more difficult to clean the bottom of the deck out because there's 2 blades in your way. That being said, you saw earlier in the video there wasn't that much buildup on this machine. It was pretty good. Low cleaning and went a long way. So maybe not too much of a factor there. Again, your conditions, your lawn, your machine, it all may vary. This is working good for me. You can see this is pretty good grass here. My yard, which is the one over there, is more weeds. It's a lot more sparse, but you can see the striping over there is just as good as it is here. And in this lawn, I only cut every 2 weeks, and there's a tremendous amount of clippings on top, and you can still see the striping, but it looks fantastic. It looks really good. In fact, it looks better than it has for the most part all year. So yeah, good cutting. I like it. Your mileage may vary. Just remember that your lawn, your machine, and you're going to have to experiment with what kind of blades that work well with your grass and give you the best results. So at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate your views, and if you can, hit that like button and maybe even give me a subscribe. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.